Hi, in this video I want to share with you a tool that could tremendously help you achieve your goal while you're working on your projects, tasks, assignments, and you're feeling a sense of pressure from them. Maybe it is frustration, maybe it is the failures that you're experiencing there, or maybe there is the emotions that arise in us, this sense of desire that we are experiencing, temptation to engage into a bad habit or lust for some specific pleasure while we are working on our goal. This tool will allow you to effectively concentrate on the assignment task that you have been performing in order to facilitate you achieving your bigger goal that you have. So, here is the first scenario. You've been working on your laptop and you experience a failure. You are frustrated. Or maybe you really want to leave it all, go for a cigarette, and so forth. These are the desires that we have that arise inside us or are external to us, right? So we can't control them. This is something that the world brings to us, right? That our project brings to us, and so forth. So the thing here is that both of this, inside desire and external facts, are like brakes that stop us from effectively continuing our work. Because once you set the goal of, for example, building a nice physique, you have in your mind the steps that you should perform in order to achieve it. However, many times we are just driven away, pushed back from this road by the feelings that we experience, by the doubts, by the externalities, right? So maybe our friends, our family, or the failures that we experience, and so forth. So my advice to you is tremendously simple. And in fact, I think you can click off this video when you will hear this because it's so simple. You have to just, it's just so simple. You have to just continue the work you've been doing. Right? But this sounds so simple. Why would this be my advice if it was so simple? Why would people really struggle with accomplishing their goals if the solution was so simple? The thing here is that, and why the problems happen. We want to achieve something, we want to maybe become better, or we are unsatisfied with our situation, or maybe we've been given some assignments and so forth. This all depends, our goals and the situation we find ourselves in. This all depends on who we are, right? So look, a low-income individual and let's say a high-income individual, right? Like some prince level wealth and so forth, will have different struggles. Your problems and dreams depend on who you are. And once you really want to propel yourself further, let's say you're from low income, you have these higher goals, it is something normal to just want more, to be unsatisfied with your situation, right? So this is good. But the problems that we are confronted with and the desires that we have are overwhelmingly and constituted by who we are, our history, our environment, like everything basically. There's so many factors that really influence who we are. And why am I telling you all this? Because this is exactly what influences your cognitive process, like, right? So what you have in life, what you don't have, and maybe how you go about the decisions. Because if you were smart and like had this wisdom, perfect education, right? You would have had the perfect physique, right? The goals that you maybe dreamed of, if you just had this perfect education and knew how to achieve it. But when you are confronted with pressure, when you are working on something and you feel this cracks, this lust for this pleasure, or are being frustrated, you do not have time to just learn how to go over it, or to just educate yourself, find out more techniques on how to go through all this. It's just not the moment, right? So the thing I'm suggesting to you, to just forget about all this pressure, temptation, negative feeling, and accomplish the thing that you want to have, is, as I said, bringing back your attention, your focus to your work. But in order to make it easier and to not account for the difficulties that your environment brings to you, that your situation brings to you, right? To just effectively focus, I'll give you a simple technique. It may be harder in the first time, but undoubtedly it will get easier down the road, and I'll tell you why. When you are working on a business and you are experiencing a frustration or a temptation, take a step back. Find yourself in a calm environment, and this, maybe on your bed, maybe in your room, just in a calm environment. And what you want to do is never push the thought away. In order to effectively work, try not to go against this thought. Just don't fight it. Our brain is like a machine. It constantly generates thoughts, and we can do nothing about it. Our thoughts are just like clouds. It's just a running stream of water. We cannot stop it. We cannot catch it. They always are going to be there. So what you want to do at this point is to just observe it. Observe the stream of water. Observe the cloud. Observe your temptation or your frustration, maybe the failure that you're experiencing. And when you will just observe it for 1, 5, 10 minutes, you will gradually sense something. First of all, it will be the emotions that you were experiencing. It will be this maybe temptation, this, you know what I'm talking about. So for example, when someone just says something offended to you, right? It's just you can't help but feel frustrated. Observe this. As you go further down the road and time passes and you just observe, you'll gradually start questioning the thought that you have or the sense of frustration. So you'll be thinking, my goal is to work on a business, is to excel. Why should something stop me? Or, in other words, you will just tend to lose this feeling that you have. It's just a cloud going away. And once you'll be observing this thought, you'll notice how other ideas will gradually come to your mind, such as, let's continue to work, such as, I can't really, this was my case. I can't tell you what will your case be, but the thing is that when you do not have this knowledge or education, because look, you think of a temptation or engage in this because you think that this is something nice that you could have now. But if you would have more knowledge, you would think that, oh, I'm not in a good situation, I need to work, and this is something that distracts me. But yet you're being tempted because you're maybe do not have this knowledge, or you're not completely confident and sure, determined in the things that you're doing. So by observing the thought, the bad behavior, you could just calm yourself down, like return to a base level with which you started to work in the first place. So everything gradually adds up. Frustration, temptation, it just rises as long as you engage into something. And by observing it, we are just bringing this thing down, returning to the base level with which we could again continue to work. And the next thing that will happen is that by simply observing this thought, you'll understand there is just something that really impedes you to work. And hear me out, if you will have the determination to return to your workplace and still continue the work, two remarkable things will happen to you. First of all, you'll get this big sense of refreshment and proudness that you've completed the work without or with little fact that you maybe went for some pleasure, or just you've been frustrated a bit. Maybe you was not, but you will feel proud of yourself because you did finish your work, and now you just overcame these desires that impeded you to achieve what you wanted. And the second, and just imagine how remarkable this is. You're just a hero. It feels like going out there, just looking for, just going hunting, and you're not sure that you'll find something, and your family is waiting for you. But in the end, you just was determined, you didn't give up, you hunted, and you brought and you provided in a desperate situation. Imagine this is just a perfect feeling. And the second situation is that generally, I congratulate you. Next time, when you will engage into your work, everything will just be easier. It's just a muscle we train, your determination will be higher. And now you could genuinely feel more easy when working because you trained yourself to work and observe the negative thoughts that are always coming, and just don't lose the determination. Keep working and achieving. And next time it will be easier, and you'll work more effectively, and you'll just achieve and keep achieving your things that you want. It is so nice to just work and become our best selves. It is so nice to achieve the things that we want so much and that we think that will allow us to be better. So on this way, I wish you luck by becoming your best self, and maybe not achieving, because when you pursue something like relentlessly, it's also not good. It's just fixing the unsatisfaction that we have, gradually becoming happier. And this is so vague, and remember, on this road we will all do mistakes, and it's just important to keep this focus and determination to achieve it. Thank you so much. If someone watched to this moment, just, I don't know, write me something down in the comments. You'll just make my day. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers.